During that time was COVID when we were growing, and what was actually a necessity was really for you to be able to order your coffee, pick up, or order your coffee for delivery, and that is really a necessity. Going in the store, sit down is really luxury, neither do people want to go in there. I think during that time, the founder himself actually found that there was actually a gap in the market. So what we are actually serving is really good coffee at a decent price. How are we able to bring good coffee, which is a lot of times you'll be able to find in specialty coffee store, those stores where you go during weekend to have brunch, to be able to serve at this price point. So that was the entire mission, to really be able to bring this and serve the mass market. So our tagline is actually called a necessity, not a luxury. A lot of times, again, we ask ourselves what exactly is our USP, right? What are we doing this for? Again, like I mentioned earlier, how do I bring good coffee on a day-to-day basis to the masses? And we realize that it's actually very, very related to everything that we do. The store that we built, if you look at it, is very able to run a business. Then we open the store. You don't see very, very fancy design. You don't see that we put a lot of effort in terms of interior design and whatnot. During that time was COVID when we were growing, and what was actually a necessity was really for you to be able to order your coffee, pick up, or order your coffee for delivery, and that is really a necessity. Going in the store, sit down is really luxury, neither do people want to go in there. Now I think the biggest challenge for most people, when we were growing, first of all, very hard for us to get talents. And then second thing is that during COVID, how do you get people to be able to work with you and work for you? Then you have to think about their well-being. So again, it revolves a lot in terms of people. And without people, you cannot operate a store. Similarly now, as you grow to a certain stage, people are from all sorts of background, all sorts of talents want to join the business. But then different people come with different skill sets, different culture, then how do you mix everyone together and really bring the company to the next level? I think it's our biggest challenge. Of course, the rest of them are very much your day-to-day business challenges, which I think is not that bad. Time we call it town hall. First year of operation, the first thing we encountered was that how am I able to get active feedback from ground level? We didn't want to create a scenario whereby you have HQ and then you have ground level, and then these guys feel as if like they are below. But in fact, these are the frontliners who really go out there to fight for us. How do I get their feedback? How do we give back to them? Then the idea was to have a town hall. We shut all our stores at 6 p.m. We allow them to prepare and then be part of it and join the live stream, provide their feedback live. And there were about 300 over people who joined the live stream. First of all, it's really community, so we really believe in whatever that we do has to be engaging with the community. Then second one is accessibility. So whatever that we do has to be accessible. So like I mentioned earlier, with the appreciation night, we want to make sure that ground level is accessible to us. We also are accessible to them. Then of course, innovation and quality. These are the four core pillars or core values within the business itself. But in terms of how do we operate here, it's very much the togetherness, the family life, everyone is very, very close to each other. During the early days, it's really everyone has different roles in doing different things. Similarly, right now, different people have different roles. But from very, very beginning of the time, we have very much corporatized the business whereby each and every one will need to be contributing to business significantly. I think as much as we are 4 years old, we have very much turned into a corporate that have respective departments, have proper structure in place, and we believe that will be how we'll be able to scale. There may be possibilities in the future, but our biggest worry is managing franchisees, because how am I able to control quality? Of course, franchisee is another boss, right? Then to manage another boss is also a challenge. I think the biggest worry is always the quality, consistency. How do I make sure that every store can run like how we operate in our own corporate stores? As we grow the business, we need to make sure that the business is profitable while scaling. So we never believe in terms of like growth and then foregoing profitability. So That's one. So we're very, very cautious when it comes to every country that we go into. But besides that, we are turning ZUS Coffee from a coffee chain into a coffee brand. And what I mean by coffee brand would be to venture into different verticals. Yeah, we have a new vertical which actually serves or sells merchandises, our instant coffee range, our RTDs which is coming up, RTDs which is the canned drink. Yeah, so this is a separate vertical. Yeah, whether will we integrate with the supply chain or moving on the supply chain and whatnot, it's a question of later strategy later on. Yeah, but these are the things that we're looking at right now. I think for now we're localizing the flavors. There are some signatures that we serve here that's being served there, but the target is still very much localizing flavors. Again, no rocket science, so we will still operate the same because this is how people will be able to relate. Again, it's community accessibility, right? You have to really think about the community when you're building the business. So we have product testing every week. We always send out drinks to our regular customer and ask them to feedback to us whether is it good or not. But now we actually have a few stages. Of course, the product team or R&D will taste it first. If it's good, then they'll run through the product committee, to approve whatever flavors that is good. If it's not good, then we'll go back and fix it. And once it passes through, then we'll have mass testing. And this mass testing will involve probably our own employees or also very regular customers that's nearby, so that it's easy for us to get feedback. Yeah, so there's multiple testing before we roll out certain flavors, and we roll out one new drink every 6 weeks. Trigger Americano. Personal drink day to day is always Americano. But if let's say I want something more fun, more flavor, then it's Spanish latte. Yeah, it's also one of our best sellers. First cup of coffee, it will depend on which one is the nearest to me, right? If let's say you're staying in a hotel, then you drink hotel coffee. If you are in a mall, then you drink Starbucks. But if you are really there to explore the places, then I think local coffee is the way to go because you really want to try how local people drink their coffee and what is special about that. And then maybe bring these ideas back to, if you look at it around neighboring Malaysia countries, right? Singapore is small. Yeah, I think store unit economics probably doesn't make sense because rental is expensive, labor cost is expensive, everything else is expensive. And our price point is low. Yeah, so it's very hard to tackle that market in Singapore. Indonesia is too crowded. Of course, you have Kopi Kenangan being a unicorn in Indonesia. Then you're going to go head one with them, right? There's another bigger one which is called Kopi Jati Jiwa. There are about 1,200 stores, and these guys are also very aggressive in their home ground. Then whether if I can make it in being an away team going into their home ground is like going into the war, jumping into the war zone. So Indonesia is naturally not a place to go into. Thailand has a local player which has more than 1,000 over 2,000 stores. And they're pretty strong as well. So Thailand is not a place to go. Vietnam is actually the fastest growing country in the entire Southeast Asia. But Vietnam has a very, very strong coffee culture. And the coffee that they consume is actually Robusta coffee. So it's totally different. And we think that these are not places that we want to go into yet. I think Philippines is also the second fastest growing country in Southeast Asia. So those are the reasons why we go to